Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. I'd like to start this off with saying happy birthday to Joe Katz, the man who designed a world-changing ledger, but still somehow ends up debating random eggs on X at 2 a.m. Happy birthday, sir. Many XRP investors are unaware of what they have invested in. Only a few really understand the full scope of the change. You own a unique piece of the future financial system. Warren Buffett is sitting on an unprecedented cash position, waiting for assets that can absorb size, deliver efficiency, and operate in a market that is becoming increasingly digital and global. A portion of that capital will eventually migrate toward a new settlement infrastructure being built. XRP is one of the few assets that can handle institutional scale, real liquidity demands, and real utility. When the next rotation begins, do not be surprised when some of that Berkshire cash finds its way into the rails of the future. Could there be a monetary earthquake pending? China's unreported gold purchases could be 10x its official total, according to the Financial Times. Dr. Judy Shelton recently told me something that the world should pay close attention to. China, the world's largest producer and consumer of gold, is almost certainly not being transparent about how much it really holds. Through the Shanghai Gold Exchange, Beijing has quietly built the infrastructure to merge gold and the yuan, setting the stage for settlement through digital instruments or stablecoins. She warned that China may soon propose a new international monetary system anchored to gold, a move that could redefine global finance.
Does it concern you that China, the world's largest producer and consumer of gold, may not be fully transparent about how much gold they actually hold? And if that's the case, could Beijing one day leverage that gold for settlement through stablecoins or other digital instruments?
Oh, definitely. I think you can assume they're not transparent about gold holdings. The Soviet Union never was. It was a state secret. And I think China would aspire to do that. They've certainly, through the Shanghai platform, set up a way to start combining the yuan with gold futures. And Kwasi Kwarteng, he was the chancellor of the exchequer during the Liz Truss, when she was prime minister briefly, of the UK. He had written an opinion piece for the New York Times some years earlier saying that it's a shame, but it could very likely be China to propose new international monetary arrangements based on some kind of gold anchor. And it seems to me that China has been quietly accumulating gold. We don't know exactly how much, but I think that there are reasons to think they are setting themselves up to do it. That's why I think it's important we move ahead rather rapidly and powerfully in doing it. We still have the world's largest gold reserves, but let's use that to our advantage and not just come up secondarily after China's already garnered the attention and maybe gotten a foothold with certain countries by proposing such an approach. Yeah, I think we need to get moving.
Honestly, it's no secret that China's going to lie through their teeth to America and probably to the rest of the whole world on what they're doing and what they have. China's never going to be open and transparent about anything. It will either be America or China that wins the AI race and the blockchain technology race. One of the two. Oh, Larry Fink on an XRP ETF. His eyes are telling the truth, his mouth won't. His silence is speaking louder than his words, and his expression said it before he could. His face revealed what his lips tried to hide.
An XRP ETF. I know you got Ether out there. How about XRP? Can you answer that?
I can't.
An XRP ETF. I know you got Ether out there. How about XRP? Can you answer that?
I can't.
Can you say NDA, non-disclosure agreement? And I have an XRP ETF launch warning for y'all. Why XRP pumps before the ETF then dumps after, and why the real pump comes later. Everyone expects an XRP ETF to send the price exploding on launch day, but that's not how the market actually works. And if you don't understand this, you'll panic at the exact wrong moment. Here's the truth every XRP holder needs to hear. Before an ETF launches, traders start buying early. They want to front-run the news, beat the institutions to the punch, and ride the hype wave. It creates a clean, predictable pump, not because institutions are buying, but because speculators are positioning themselves. The launch day hits and boom, the price drops, and everyone screams, why is XRP dumping? Wasn't the ETF supposed to make it moon? No, because something else kicks in, profit taking, my friends. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. ETF inflows don't happen on launch day. Real money from wealth managers, institutions, and family offices takes weeks to flow in. Compliance, approvals, portfolio reviews, allocation cycles. They're not sitting at their computers clicking buy on day one. So what does the chart do? Launch dip, quiet accumulation, real pump later, the one everyone expected. This is exactly what happened to Bitcoin in January 2024. It dumped the day the ETF launched, then hit new all-time highs as institutional inflows kicked in over time. XRP will follow the same pattern. Stay ready for the real move that comes next. SEC Chair Paul Atkins announced that the agency is taking steps to relax its crypto oversight. You know what that means? The red tape is coming off. XRP bullish.
Several years now, the industry has been operating in a fog. They couldn't really figure out what the SEC was looking for and how this new technology could be accommodated within the ancient rules that applied to paper filings and paper stock certificates and that sort of thing. We're talking about now, digital assets and that sort of thing on chain. So what we need to do is focus on the basics again, what are securities and whatnot, and then collaborate with our sister regulators, most importantly, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So if you divide the taxonomy that I outline, and obviously this is my views, and we'll work through notice and comment rulemaking ultimately on all of this, but if you have digital commodities, digital collectibles, digital tools, and finally tokenized securities, and the first three are not securities, and tokenized securities obviously are. So the rub comes in defining, what is and is not a security, and so that's what we are, setting out to do.
It's about time we've got some clear-cut rules for cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies, because over the past 4 years, people didn't know what to do. They didn't know what rules they had to abide by. Things were just completely unclear. Thanks to Paul Atkins here, that is changing already. The Apple Store moment is here. XRP sat behind the glass for a decade, ignored, dismissed, totally mispriced. Then the ETFs arrived. That's the Apple Store doors flying open. A $1 trillion crowd just sprinted in. Franklin Templeton, Bitwise, Grayscale, 21 Shares, Wisdom Tree. These are the buy programs with mandates. They don't stop until the shelves are empty. And the shelf, it's almost bare. Canary pulled 120 million XRP in days. Average demand is 10 to 12 million per XRP per issuer per day. 12 issuers equals 132 million XRP per day. 660 million per week, and 2.6 billion per month. 31.6 billion XRP vacuumed into cold storage in a year. The market still thinks 55 billion XRP is liquid. Reality says it's only 8 to 12 billion that moves. This is the stampede hitting an empty display case. When that realization lands, price will detonate. And last up, what if I told you XLM is already working with giants of finance, tech, and government? Not someday, but right now. MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, and Stripe for payments. PwC, Amazon, Google, IBM for enterprise rails, Paxos, Franklin Templeton for tokenization, UNHCR, and the Ukraine Ministry for humanitarian aid. This is what real adoption looks like. It's not about speculation. It's about being the invisible infrastructure behind this future of programmable money. This isn't just bullish. It's the most underpriced real-world use case narrative in the space. Are you ignoring what they already see? Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.